Hi, my name is Grandma Susie, wife of RJ, and I have been involved with the Nicaragua missions for 23 years this year. Nicaragua is dear to our heart, dear to this church, and this church is dear to Nicaragua. The Holy Spirit took a team of absolute, unwilling, unknown people to Nicaragua on a crazy adventure in 1998, and we fell in love with the culture. We fell in love with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit revealed himself to us in a way that was only supernatural. We went to build an orphanage. We went to serve and do physical labor. We ended up dealing with sick children. We ended up dealing with so many things that you can't imagine in the supernatural and in the physical. I found the Holy Spirit there, and when I came home, my husband said, "What is this place what happened to you there?" We fell in love. The Lord asked us to continue to serve here, and we said yes. And so he came, and we have been serving in Nicaragua on the Atlantic coast, in the jungle, in the city of Puerto Cabeza. They're people who many of them had no medical care. We started doing jungle trips where we did medical care to villages that had never seen any medical people and went to places that hadn't been reached before. Since then, Pastor Earl has planted up to like 20 churches now, and they are thriving, and we go back and visit those churches and just love on them and develop relationship. Through the course of the 23 years, we decided, Kavita Anderson and I led a medical team. We did the medical, we started doing surgical, and the surgical morphed. The Lord revealed to us what he wanted, and he wanted us to come take care of his children that had maxillofacial cleft lip and palates, goiters. The Father provided for us Christian doctors that had learned plastic surgeries from a man in the United States who had a cleft lip and palate himself, who perfected a technique that is as good, if not better, than any technique we use in the United States. So our children of Nicaragua now are able to be healed through the Holy Spirit and the work of the hands of people that he called to serve him, who are native Nicaraguans, and they serve their own people. We just go and support them. We go ahead and procure all of the supplies that we need and finance the doctor's trips over to Nicaragua, to the Atlantic coast, into the jungle, and then we go ahead with an aviation group and procure all of the children. I pre-screen them and we bring them down to the village. In the village, where they arrive on the back of chicken trucks, they arrive on the back of hay trucks, they walk. We've had people that walk for 8 days. They get there however they can. Then they come to the hospital. They stay in a place we call the Hilton Hotel. It's a barn, and that barn was destroyed, and you're going to see some video. My husband's going to show you some video, and we're going to beg for you to help us rebuild the Hilton Hotel.
As you can see, by looking down here, the steps that used to go to the front door and the front porch, now the whole building's tipped over after the hurricane. They'll salvage all the product, all the material off this as much as they can. But when we talk to Earl, a lot of it's already dry rotted and it's beyond repairs. So we're going to take this on as a project. We'll be looking for donors to donate to help fund this project. So when we get finished with it like that, we'll have a place in February or January when we come down with their teams and the housing. And they will also use it for day-to-day use, as they have patients come in from the outlying villages there, even when we're not here.
They stay there, they watch over each other, they eat together, they pray together. We come and bring ice cream and make sure everybody's well every night, and we come and bring a gospel message many of the nights, and Earl comes down and many of his men come down. We work with the feeding center, where they feed over 600 children that were homeless and or too poor to have a place to eat, and that is just amazing. The feeding center is one of the most joyous places you'll ever be. And then also something new, a place called Haulover that was hit by the first Eta and then Iota. They were both Cat 5 hurricanes, and they destroyed the village, and you're going to find out why Haulover is special.
I am Earl Bui from Puerto Cabeza, Nicaragua. I just really want to share with you all part of my testimony. In 1984, we were living a civil war in Nicaragua, I weren't a Christian yet. I were kidnapped for 45 days. In that year when they kidnapped me, I was in the community of Halover. That's where they had me for 45 days. After that, I went back, returned back to port after being released, after getting away from, because a battle began. And no, last year, 220, in November, as many of you all knew, and I know you all had been praying and helping us, we had this boat hurricane, Eta and Iota, but the Lord had laid in my heart to get back to Halover and other community, but mainly focusing on Halover. But it's so amazing that where I were kidnapped, where I were in a situation where I could have lose my life, today the Lord is permitting me to carry hope's love and share His care for each one in that community.
We went out and did a medical clinic in May there and probably took care of mostly COVID patients and loved on them, but we found that they were starving, their homes were all gone. Out of 160 homes, only one home was left standing. We've been praying for help. We knew He would come. We knew that He would provide someone. So right now, we're working toward rebuilding homes for those people in Halover. And Pastor Earl already has some homes that he's got started building. And we're working with the eldership of the village. And when we went out there, a lot of their clothes and all of their pots and pans and everything were washed away. Our sewing ladies had made clothing for our children, our surgical children, but we took all of those clothes and shared them with the village, and they were so blessed to get them. And you'll see pictures of some of the kids in those clothes. The sewing ladies answer the call of the Lord to use their gifts. There are so many gifts that can be used for Nicaragua. There are so many things that the Holy Spirit is just moving in, and it's exciting. So for all the new people in our church, I invite you to become involved in something that will change your life forever, serving the Lord in a third world country, but it starts here. It starts right here, and it starts in your heart, and it's a heart of love for other people. There's so much to do. So if you're interested in that, RJ and I will be available to talk to you about it after the service.